I don't know how to think, because in movies those cops are always like the bad cops, they're always crooked, but the way you describe it, cops don't make that much money, and
everybody in life gets jaded at their job.
Yeah.
Some people are listening to this right now going, Joey, I would want you to hear the other side of this. No matter what type of job you do, you're a working fucking stiff till the end. I'm a working stiff. Lee would have been a working stiff as an editor. You know, you would have got promoted finally as an editor, and you're still 28. And when do you retire?
65.
So unless you open up your own business, you're a fucking working stiff.
40 years, yeah.
So for 40 years, you're a working stiff, okay? Now, I don't know if this becomes the same for cops. I'm going to break it down for you guys and everybody here at some point at 38 goes, what the fuck am I doing? I just saw a bill by mistake. They pay me $15 an hour. They charge $55 for me. And I'm only getting $15. And yet, $15 goes to insurance and state taxes. But they're still getting $25 from me for labor-wise. I'm making $15 an hour, and this is what I'll do till I'm fucking 65. You know, whatever. Everybody gets jaded at their work. Somebody gets a promotion. You find out some idiot makes more than you. You know, my wife is a fucking hard worker. My wife doesn't believe in theft. When she was a waitress, and you know, she didn't want to work at the store no more. Then she went to fucking Starbucks. I would talk to my wife. My wife is such a Gentile. She doesn't believe in theft. Everything is by the fucking penny. You know, the other day she found that the chiropractor clipped us for $65. She goes, I read somewhere that all medical bills are off. They're all wrong. You should go through them. I was off from my insurance. She went through all my bills, found out that I was over. Called my insurance, got my insurance bumped to level 1. My wife is a fucking hawk when it comes to this. She worked. Boom, she got pregnant one day. 10 years on the job. They paid for her pregnancy. She wasn't doing nothing. She fucking was a Slim Jim Magoo. That bitch cried for a week, but she went to work after 8 weeks. She went to work and she drove home with her tits leaking, you know, from the milk, and she'd feed Mercy, and, you know, I would see the anguish in her face, and I pleaded with her to quit. She told me she couldn't quit. And about 3 weeks later, she came home one day, and she said that they gave her a raise. They gave her like a 1.3% raise. And she was never so embarrassed in her life that she's outworked 3 of the fucking people. And then they took the girl that's the baby's godmother, and she had been there for 10, 12 years, 15 years. And instead of hiring her, they got somebody from the outside. And she started thinking about how, you know, these people really don't give a fuck. That's why I got into comedy and blah, blah, blah. And I was very smart, and that was part of it. I was jaded. I didn't want to work for people no more. I was sick and tired. I didn't want to be there 9 to fucking 5, you know? And I saw my wife get jaded, and she goes, I'm quitting. Then she didn't do it for like 2 months, and then she started going back part-time. And after 3 days, she came home, and she goes, I can't do it no more. I hate those fucking people. Same thing happens when you're a cop. Same thing happens when you truly believe in your heart that you're helping people. You really believe in your heart that you're helping people. And all of a sudden, you help somebody, you call an ambulance, and they get up and try to shoot you. You go to these houses, these people don't give a fuck about you because you're a cop. You're always the enemy, no matter what they tell you. I grew up believing in police officers. I really did. I grew up believing, and I still do.
Even as a criminal,
Even as a criminal, I still believe in police officers. I still believe that they do good. But then again, you're going to get guys that are jaded. And then since they work long hours, they get jaded in their personal lives. Their wives leave them. You know, most of these cops have a few marriages. They get drunk. They don't tell. I can't come home and tell you. I come home at night. What'd you do today? I shot a movie with Dean Cain. What'd you guys do? Well, today's, we got chased by a dog. We ran up the stairs and chased the dog, and then we ran down and they chased us. Then there's another scene where he puts a string out and we both jump over and we both fall. I can't tell my wife that I saved a kid in the dumpster today, and the kid was half burnt. And this is, and also I tend to do drugs. Also, I arrest somebody one day and they have 3 baggies of meth, but I only turn in 2 of them. And I do a little bit of it. You know, God knows what an officer's mind is thinking.
Yeah.
I'm not sticking up for the guy who shot the 12-year-old in Cleveland.
No.
I'm not sticking up for Hands Up. I'm not sticking up for Ferguson. I'm just telling you that before we accuse, we have to think of both sides about it. And I hate to get into these conversations because there'll always be critics of this, but it's true.
Yeah.
It's fucking true. I was on both sides and I was very lucky. I never drew on a cop.
You ever take a gun out?
I was never that fucking crazy.
Right.
I didn't have that much of a death wish. For years I thought I did, but I really didn't. And a lot of fucked up shit could happen. I drive home on the 10. I drive home on the 101, Lee. So do you. How many times you go to fucking Compton? You're a white kid in Compton. Right? For a year, you drove to fucking a bad neighborhood. You're coming home one night, they say, pull this guy over. He's here for drug activity.
Yeah?
They pull you out of a fucking car. Where's the drugs? I'm not here for drugs. They smack you. When you go home, how are you going to feel about the cops?
Yeah, you're going to hate them.
You're going to still believe, not hate them, but you're going to believe in them anymore? Are you ever going to down? You know, it's just, we get jaded in so many different fucking levels, Lee.
Yeah.
So
I just had a cousin who had to quit being a social worker because he'd done it for like 2 years and he was just like, I can't do it anymore. Every week there's a new kid who gets beat up, or it was terrible.
I mean, all you could do is live your life the right way.
Yeah.
And pray to God you never get accused of something wrongly. And pray to God you're not at the wrong place at the wrong fucking time.
Right.
You know.
So how's the movie going, by the way?
The movie is... First off, I didn't want to do this fucking movie. I had the worst attitude about it. Because what they do is they do SAG low budget movies. They give you a little taste of the back end. And you get limited visibility. You go on ABC Family or Ion or something like that, you know. The first one, I gave my blood on this. I fell down. That was the beginnings of my pains when I started hurting my knee and shit. First one, if you watch it, I'm 400 pounds.
Oh, no.
Easy. And I'm falling on the floor. I'm running upstairs. And then like the second and third one, you know, we were talking about something the other day. I don't like doing a lot of shit. Once I do it a few times, I move on, you know, and I always thought I wanted to move on from this. When they called this time, I had a date in Chicago, but I had another movie that had called. And they ended up pushing that back till March or something. So I got stuck with this, you know. I didn't want to do it, and they were fucked. They've been great the whole time. One day the air conditioning broke on the trailer the second day. But besides that, this is what I do, Lee.